Welcome to episode 120 of Play PSVR 2, the podcast. We got Adam over there double fisting on the video for those watching. But Adam, we got a lot to cover today, so we're going to be moving pretty swiftly. This might be a classic three-segger for those who are in the know. We got some new games to discuss. We have a developer interview. Know how much you guys love those. Maybe you've already seen it. It's on our channel. We got a review to go through. But Adam, I want to tell you something. I was inspired. Walkabout Mini Golf has launched. People are loving it, and it inspired me to get into the golf game. Not in the way you think. I'm not good at golf, but I'm good at inventing things. My PlayStation VR backpack is in production, and I invented a new golf ball, Adam. This is amazing. This golf ball, it is able to find itself when it's within 4 inches of a hole. It will automatically jump into the hole. It's pretty impressive. However, learn from my mistakes. Do not put it in your back pocket. Get it?
For 4 inches. You're right, Alex. We got a lot to cover. I love it. I'm going to talk about Walkabout Mini Golf. That's going to be in the third segment. But first, we have a JP from Mighty Coconut, the developers in the studio of Walkabout Mini Golf. That'll be in the second segment. Looking forward to talking to them. Gamer Juice, dude. I took not necessarily a risk. I'm trying to be healthy nowadays. So I have a cucumber strawberry green tea. It's iced. It's not bad. It doesn't have a whole lot of taste. I've had better, but I've definitely had worse. So I'm going to take it. It's a win. Here's the Play PS. This is a Play PS5, the podcast mug. But Alex, I want to know what you're sipping.
When did those mugs get made? I need one of those mugs. Adam, I went Asian grocery store classic here. Bubble tea, banana bubble tea. Have you ever had bubble tea? Are you a bubble tea guy?
Dude, I love bubble tea.
Yeah, well, this is banana bubble tea with all them tapioca pearls in a can. I've never had the bubble tea coming out of a can. I honestly don't know how it's going to be fitting through the hole of this can.
I would not have gotten banana, but let's see how it goes. I believe I had... I may have had bubble tea in a can. I had it. I just don't know if it was a Gamer Juice. I got it from Jungle Gyms. Wow, you're good at that motion. Very swift.
A lot of practice.
Like Walkabout Mini Golf. You get better with practice.
Yeah, I'm practicing my strokes here.
If you would hurry up and open it and drink it, we could do the podcast and we could play some Walkabout after the podcast.
It tastes like banana, Adam, which, you know, I don't want to eat my drink, but that's what's happening now. That's what's happening. It tastes like banana. I spilled it all over myself. Adam, we're going to start this.
You're like a big freaking Gerber baby, a 4-inch Gerber baby. Why 4 inches? I don't understand why you chose that number for the joke.
Because their back pocket's like 4 inches away from your butthole.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, whatever.
I know what I'm going to do in this segment, folks. I'm going to measure. Okay, there are some new games. Alex, you get more excited for new games than I do. So I've given you the pleasure of releasing the games, telling me what you know about them, and then I'm going to break you down and tell them why you shouldn't be as excited for them as you are.
Well, you're never going to break me down, Adam, because there are games coming out. Listen, everybody knows this. I like all games. Like you said, I'm down to play almost all the games that come out, but I really love it when there's games that I've never heard of getting launched, because that's opportunity to be surprised. Any one of these could be the next Vertigo Home, and that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm in VR for. But right out of the gate, this is not the next Vertigo Home. It's a known entity, but it's a great entity. This is Budget Cuts Ultimate. Just announced. Budget Cuts Ultimate is coming to PSVR 2. And what is Budget Cuts Ultimate, you ask? We already played Budget Cuts on PSVR 1. Is this a port? It's not a port. What this is Budget Cuts 1 and Budget Cuts 2 combined into one seamless product going right into your PSVR 2. And it's going to have enhancements. It's going to have all the stuff you want. Adam, did you play Budget Cuts on PSVR 1?
I did not.
I did. And let me tell you, it was great. It was awesome. It's like a stealth action game where you're sneaking around this office where these killer robots are trying to kill you, and then you kill the robots because you're throwing knives at them and stuff. It's a very fun game. Relied on teleportation, locomotion. I don't know if that's intrinsic to the game or if it's something that was because the PlayStation VR controllers were so bad. Let me tell you, I'm excited. This is a big get. This is a big, awesome game. Yeah, it's not totally new. These games have been out on other systems, but it's on PSVR 2 now, and I'll finally play the sequel because I had no chance to in the future. Does this get you hyped at all?
Hype level 6 out of 10. I am sick of these games that are nothing but quest games that they're ported over. Oh boy, there's a little bit more haptic feedback. Don't care. I want new games. And as a little precursor to my review coming up, I don't want these games that are on every freaking headset and then they just have them on PSVR for the sake of having it. Use the tech. I bought a $600 freaking headset. I want something that makes me impressed with the purchase. I want something different. I don't want crappy friggin' character designs and what. I'm not gonna get into it. This isn't the airing of grievance. I'm not gonna get into it. 6 out of 10. That's my hype level. Could be worse, but let's be honest. Unless it's cheap, I'm not gonna play it.
All right, Adam. Well, next, this was just announced, and this is super exciting, I think. This is a game people thought was vaporware. People are super excited. The videos look amazing for it. This is Undead Citadel has been given a release date, Adam. Undead Citadel is coming out June 8th. A lot of people thought it wasn't even going to come out. They thought it was fake. They thought it was footage. It was never going to happen. Guess what? It's coming out. Developers Dark Curry let us know June 8th, Undead Citadel. Have you seen the footage of this game, Adam? It looks remarkable.
I haven't. I'm looking it up now, but continue to tell me, why are you excited specifically for it?
This reminds me a lot of that game. Oh, what's it called? Where you're walking
Swordsman
around.
VR?
No, where you're walking around like the crossbow into death or something like that.
Oh, yes. In depth.
Yeah. In Death. Yes. It reminds me of that game. I love that game. I would love to see a sequel to it. This looks like a
Okay,
spiritual
this
sequel.
looks significantly. Yeah, this looks like something I could. This could get me 4 inches to the hole. I'll tell you that. Hype level 8 out of 10. It's got everything. You got bow action. You have swords. And again, with the PSVR, with the room scale, even with games like Zenith, made sword play really good. And Zenith, of course, is limited here. But a game like this could be huge. The graphics actually look good. So it's going to be more realistic, more immersive. Giddy up. June 8th. Let's go.
All right. All right. Adam's excited. Wait, what was your hype score out of this?
I'm giving that an 8 out of 10, baby. I mean,
Man, you're hard to
woof.
please. Is there any game that you could imagine being 10 out of 10 hype for? We thinking Resident Evil 4 VR?
I think a Resident Evil could be a 10 out of 10. That could be a 10 out of 10. I'm telling you what, C Smash is pretty close. I mean, that's pretty good. Humanity is coming to the PSVR 2, but I would need another Mitsuguchi game that is along the lines of Rez. Something like that could get me pretty hyped. That's possible. But, again, I don't filter my opinions with, I like that game. Oh, that game's so good. That game made me cry. That is cute, and that's just a good game. I don't do that, Alex. People can trust me. Someone needs to be the taste maker of this podcast, and that is me.
Adam's saucy today. I like it.
Every game you like.
Not to
matter what it is.
Not to derail us, but did you know that there was a sequel to Rez that came out? It's called
Child of... At some point you told me, but I've never played it. I don't know what it is.
I don't know why they're not porting it. It was called Child of Eden, and it came out on Xbox, and it used Kinect, and I always wanted to play it, but I can't get a Kinect because those are hard to find now. But it looked incredible. Moving on. New game announced. This one probably will get you super hyped, Adam. It's called Travel the Words. Travel the Words. It's release date to be determined, but it's on the PlayStation Store. The characters look like... The character model looks like Rec Room. And all that we have in terms of footage and knowledge of this game is a picture of a highly polygonated train. And the description just says, immersive word puzzles, engaging educational fun, includes fun facts, word shuffling, and a mini game when you find bonus words. And a smiley face emoji is at the end of the text description there. Hype level, Adam, out of 10. What's up?
This might be a 9. No, I'm joking. But Alex, here is where you're going to get into the Vertigo home territory. These people who clearly don't really care. Studio 8 OU. I mean, I guess that's a publisher. I don't know who the developers are, but clearly they don't take themselves very seriously as developers. You never know what you're going to get here. Might be a hidden gem. It could be the game of the year.
Oh, I found an official trailer for it. I won't delve too deep, but you're right, Adam. I need to be excited because you're right. These are the kind of games that come out of nowhere and they're janky as all get out, but there's some charm to it that's just like, you know what? They went for it, and damn it, I'm having a fun, good time with it.
I mean, this just sounds like a horrible, absolutely atrocious. Last week I talked about Cave Digger 2 being a horrible source material type game. This topped it easily. So I'm over it, whatever. I hype level 2 out of 10. It's not the only thing that would bring me less hype is like a port of special delivery, not a remaster, a port. That would have me less hyped because
So
at
here's
least the mystery of this has got me like, oh, so that's where I'm at 2 out of 10.
I'm watching the trailer now, and the majority of the gameplay seems to be literally word search puzzles. Just a word search.
Dude, I
And
bought a game where you do a jigsaw puzzle. I mean, they're not that far apart.
they're very far apart in terms of how fun that's going to be in VR. Moving on. Sorry, Travel the Words. I'll still play you, and I'll probably still love you because I like every game. Next game on our list is Break Stuff VR. Very uninspired logo. It's a broken wine bottle. This is put out by Single Step Games LLC. Looks like basic asset art showing a robot game show host. So I guess it's a game show where you got to try to break stuff. It says break stuff in VR, smash for cash. As a game show contestant, throw and bash your way to victory. You swing baseball bats and sticks to break cool things and smash a fully destructible car. It's easy to play, difficult to master. How would you master this game, Adam? It's a game about breaking stuff. I'm sure in there's a time limit.
Dude, I'm a born smasher. Trust me, that won't be an issue. What will be an issue is that a game like this it's fun to smash stuff in real life, not in VR. You don't feel the smash. You don't reap the consequences of a smash like you do in real life. I think this is not gonna. I just don't think it's gonna be a very good game. I think it's gonna be really boring. The only smashing type of game that I think succeeded, it was what was the bar game? Bar VR.
Drunken bar fight.
Yeah, that was like a smash type game, but it was all in its own. It had that jankiness. It had the wildness of being able to throw people off the edge of the rooftop bar. It was wild. So that made it worth it. This doesn't have that. This is just you smashing stuff and trying to rack up points. Who cares? This is 3 out of 10. Maybe, it's got to be a 3 out of 10 for hype level. Not impressed.
So far, from what I'm seeing of the trailer footage, I found the website, breakstuffvr.com. It has that jank level. It has Vertigo Home vibes to it and what they're doing. Yeah, they're just using basic asset art and you're breaking stuff, but we're seeing some pretty wild stuff happen that looks like it might be kind of fun in an unintentional but sort of intentional kind of way. So I'm holding out a little bit of hope here. I'll give them a shot. I love every single game that ever comes out. Next game on the list is Ultimate Knockout. Ultimate Knockout, Adam. So we got Creed. We got boxing games. This appears to be a UFC game. It's by Straight Jacket Entertainment Limited. And it says a trailblazing title utilizing Sony PlayStation superior graphic processing, Epic Games Unreal Engine, coupled with Straight Jacket's revolutionary hyper-realistic character design and ahead of the curve markerless mocap tech. We got you yet? Unlike conventional combat video games, our fighters are hotshots, frequenting the world of music, sports, glamour, and politics. Garment from clothing to footwear will also be available via in-game stores with limited edition products sold. So the picture is of a UFC arena, but I get the feeling it's not a UFC fighting game. It's a pretend you're a famous fighter and dress up game. How you feeling about this?
I mean, the thing is, people, if it's an actual fighting game, could be okay. Is this a PSVR exclusive?
I guess so. I mean, makes it sound like it, utilizing the superior graphic processing. That's
And
literally what they said.
now I don't see anything about it. So it might be. Surely it wouldn't be a PSVR exclusive and it'd be complete garbage, right?
So,
I don't know.
some
Let's move on. I'm sick of talking about this. I want to talk about other stuff. Burn through these.
Okay. These other ones are kind of known entities. Red Matter 2 came out for those that don't know. I'm playing it right now, so we'll have a review next week. Transformers Beyond Reality. Maybe I think second to last game I reviewed for PSVR 1 got a free update for PSVR 2. So I'll play that and talk about it. I don't see how PSVR 2 is going to help it too much, but hey, who knows? We might be pleasantly surprised. This one is a wild card, Adam. Poker Stars VR, another game people thought was vaporware. It had a tumultuous launch where the trailer got posted and then immediately taken down by Sony after it got posted. And then here, I think less than a week later, it has released. People are playing it. People are loving it. This is multiplayer poker, blackjack, all these casino card games, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about it. Would you be down to play some poker in VR, Adam?
I would think I would. The biggest issue with poker is that you need a good assortment of people to come and play, right? It's very difficult to do in real life because people have kids and responsibilities. They don't have the money to put forth. And in real life, if you don't have something on the line, it's not worth it. Obviously, don't have anything on the line here in VR, but you're always going to have people to play with. Poker is fun. The only issue I could see is you're going to have the idiots like myself who would go all in on the first hand and just wreck the game. Or, yeah, I don't know. It could be fun. What's the price on it?
Uh, it's free, I believe.
Holy, what?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's free. Let me see. Poker Stars
Oh,
VR.
dang.
Yeah, it. Okay, so everybody is playing it everywhere else in the world. It's not out yet in America. So what is going on?
Freaking nice job,
This can't.
Sony.
This can't be true.
Buttholes.
People are playing it right now. How is this not available? I'm I'm so confused
A
because
freaking Tuck Cerny over here. Okay, so next I want to talk about the Studio Form Creative VR safety, or it's more of not safety, a comfort band and a balancer. So, Alex, one of the biggest deficits of the PSVR 2 is it's so friggin' uncomfortable. I try not to complain about it every week, but I want to because it is the most uncomfortable piece. It's the most uncomfortable head apparatus I have ever experienced in my life. Horrible. And the fact that they made it so uncomfortable, and it's not just me, it's many people, is shameful. Like, the first thing, great, the technology is awesome. They put all of this work into an awesome headset, but forgot the most important, arguably, the most important thing, comfort. I don't want to wear the thing more than 20 minutes because it's so uncomfortable. I had to find something to help. I mentioned it in the past for the PSVR. I used that Studio Form Creative head strap. Well, lo and behold, they have one for the PSVR 2 specifically. So essentially, the head strap is very similar. The new one is a bit longer and it's thinner, probably just for comfort reason. It's the same material, holds up really well. My one for my PSVR I've had for years, no issues whatsoever. So the material is very good. That in itself will help. What I didn't expect, and maybe you knew of these in the past, I never had, but they call them balancers. So there is a weight in a piece of fabric that wraps around. There's two of them that you put on the back of the headset. So the big issue with, in my opinion, and at least in my case, I'm assuming with many people's case, when you have the PSVR 2 on your head, the headset part is heavy and there's not enough of a forehead pad like the PSVR that had friction to prevent it from falling down on your face as much. PSVR 2 doesn't have that head pad, that forehead pad. So it falls down on your face more readily. That not only takes you out of your sweet spot, but then adds, it's uncomfortable. But to alleviate that, obviously you need it in your sweet spot to play VR. So you get it in position and you have to crank the tensioner in the back so hard that now you have pressure points all around the headband and your skull that it feels like a torture device. That's the only way. And sometimes it still falls down. The headset is complete, absolute rubbish. Should be ashamed of yourself, PlayStation. However, thankfully, these people have come up with these balancers that will equalize and kind of create the center of mass of the entire headset more in the actual center. So that headset is less likely to fall down on your forehead, meaning you don't have to crank the tensioner up as high. You don't have the pressure points. It's more comfortable. So I noticed a difference almost immediately. It is a really nice grouping together. The head strap is $20. The head strap and the balancers are $35. For me, it's a no-brainer. Because if you can't last more than 30 minutes in VR because you're uncomfortable, or even Resident Evil 8, I was like, I had to keep playing, but I felt physically like it was hurting me. And I mean, it's a horrible feeling. It's so stupid that they have this, but thankfully someone has the ingenuity to help. So Studio Form Creative VR, I have an official review on our YouTube that is called Gaming is in Session. And I go through the unboxing, how to put it on. I discuss some of the problems and then why it's really helped me. The only thing now, Alex, that causes discomfort on the PSVR 2 is that the bridge of my nose and the PSVR 2 lenses like touch, and it actually hurts. Like when you move, if it's a stationary game, I don't feel it at all. But if I'm moving, that hard plastic, that's kind of just the lens, right? It's the protectors of the lens in the headset rub up against the bridge of my nose, and it's like heavy. It hurts. But if I could figure that out, and that may just be put some cloth on my nose when I'm going in to play an active game, it may be fine. That other than that, I now have PSVR Gen 1 quality comfort. So thanks, Sony. Up yours. I had to spend, you got to spend 35 freaking dollars to get the comfort of the last gen. And it's not even a product you sell. Idiot. I swear. I'm in a bad mood today, Alex. Why am I like these people? Like, why can't you just be good? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get why you're in such a bad mood either. Adam, how in the world does the PSVR 2 headset hurt your nose? I have the biggest nose known to man, and my nose has never met the PSVR 2. What is it? Could it be the VR lenses you have in?
No, yeah, I thought about that. No, I definitely checked, and this happened before those. It's, I guess, the sweet spot. When I move it, I guess it's closer to my nose. Dude, I don't know. Maybe you've got some girth on your nose and some fat around it so it doesn't hurt. This is like a bone on a hard plastic contact. Like it, yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, no, this is some bony stuff happening up here on the top of my nose. But anyways, I'm glad you have comfort now. I mean, I don't particularly need anything to make it more comfortable for me because I'm a man and I'll endure these kind of things to get quality content out to our listeners. But no,
I will too. I'm just going to complain about it every step of the way.
with the Quest,
if you
we had
comfort
balancers.
issues, check out Studio Form Creative VR. Cool company, good products. They also have it for all the other headsets, but who gives a crap about the Quest when you can have a PSVR 2?
All right. Well, next, Adam, did you bring some news to the table? I think all the news is really just the games that got announced. I mean, Zenith is having a patch. Zenith had a big patch that came out, maybe made the game better. So I should probably dive in and see how that goes. There's a new character you can play as with a grappling hook, which looked kind of fun. There's also a rumored PlayStation, what do they call that? State of Play that's coming, or a PlayStation showcase that's going to be coming here in June, mid-June. So there's a little bit of that to look forward to. Probably hopefully some VR announcements, but I bet it's going to be like more Horizon Zero Dawn garbage, aside from the VR game, which is not garbage. But Adam, if you don't have anything to talk about, I want to talk about a little investigative journalism I did recently. This is regarding a new game that we just learned about. So I was looking at the new games on the PlayStation Store, and I saw a little game called Rythm Planet. And the description and the images seemed oddly familiar to me. So I looked up the developer, Game Epoch, which also sounded familiar. And I looked up what games they've made, and wouldn't you know it, Adam? They made 18 Floors.
Oh,
And they made a sequel to 18 Floors. Did you know that? Did you know there was a sequel to 18 Floors?
I mean, I knew there was DLC to add like 2 more floors, so now they're up to 6 floors out of 18. But no, I did not know there was a sequel, I suppose.
Yeah. So this is a game. So yeah, they made 18 Floors, but it didn't give me any insight into who, or they published it. I don't know who the developer is yet. But I read the description of the game. Rythm Planet's a cute and hilarious game developed by Aoga Technology and published by GamePock. The game perfectly combines music rhythm with new features of PSVR 2, such as adaptive triggers, head mounted vibration feedback, and surround sound, allowing players to enjoy the fun on dozens of super parties. So I'm getting hype, although the description is basically just a list of PSVR 2 features. So then I look up this Aoga Technologies group, and all I find is nothing but stock information and startup information about some company. Can't find anything about it. But I find that the game is based in China. So what do? I Google Aoga Technologies China VR. I end up on the Chinese PlayStation Store. And Adam, despite how fluent I am when I'm saying ni hao, I can't read Chinese. So I start scrolling. You know, on the PlayStation Store, it has like the feel the new reel page, and you're scrolling through and it's like moving the headset around and stuff like that. I'm just doing anything I can to try to figure out what's going on. I keep scrolling down, and it gets to that section where on the US PlayStation Store, it's like, bam, here's the games, Gran Turismo, Resident Evil 8, click through. I get to that section on the Chinese PlayStation Store. None of that's there. None of that's there. There's one game there. There's one game there. And you know what that game is? That game is Rythm Planet, baby. So I clicked the Rythm Planet icon. Name was in Chinese, but I knew the icon. I knew the picture. Rythm Planet. I click it. I start trying to read. It's all in Chinese, but luckily we can translate. I right click. I translate it to English. And oh my God, Adam, do you know what game? Do you know what this game is called in Chinese? Rythm Planet. You know what it's called in Chinese?
I thought you said it was Rythm Planet.
Uh, in the American store, it's Rythm Planet. In the Chinese store, it's Ranch Planet.
What? The same Ranch Planet
The same Ranch Planet.
for the PSVR 2 Ranch Planet.
I'm looking at the PSVR 2 store on the Chinese PlayStation store, and Ranch Planet is on there with the logo of Rythm Planet. For those that don't know, Ranch Planet's a legendary game in the PSVR space because they had a description that talked about, a king of the universe. Things are falling apart. Somebody needs to save the universe. Luckily, the Guardians of the Galaxy rise up to save the universe, and that brings you to Ranch Planet. But then when you play the game, it's a game where you shoot nets at sheep and reel them in like a fish, while a vulture does the same thing.
So does this mean Ranch Planet is coming to the PSVR 2 for us, or is there really another game called Rythm Planet and it's coming to the PSVR 2 for us?
I don't know. So I did find Aoga Technologies website, aoga-vr.com, and all I can find is footage of Ranch Planet, even though they talk about Rythm Planet. Why would you call it Ranch Planet on PSVR 2 if it's not Ranch Planet? We've already proved that the description on the store means nothing to them. That is not a sacred territory. They can write whatever they want to there.
These are the people we need to be interviewing on the podcast. Send them a request, whether they speak English or not. Also, Hong Kong, what do they speak?
Mandarin or Cantonese, some version of the Chinese.
Dude, we're Chinese like languages. Number 3 over there. Get some of our listeners. Boom, that is our end. Oh Maybe. My, it's all coming together. We're going to get the other 12 floors of 18 floors. We're going to get a sequel to Ranch Planet and a remaster on the PSVR 2. It's all coming together, Alex. The crap tornado, the poop milkshake that we can suck down. Holy crap.
Yeah, I'm zooming out on the map on their website right now. Looks like they are actually in mainland China, and they are way in there, baby. They're way into mainland China. So I don't think Hong Kong will get us there, but maybe we can get a translator. Maybe that will be our saving grace there. But no, well, I would love to interview the developers. I think it's lofty to say developers because I'm very likely it's just a developer. I think it's just one person having a
Oh.
good time making games in VR. Kudos
What
to
I
him. I
don't
can't make a game.
understand is you did so much research. Why?
I got to figure this out. This is
But like,
Ranch
what
Planet.
got you to be like, oh, okay, this Rythm Planet was made by GamePock. You looked up them, be like, oh, okay, 18 floors. That's where it should have ended. But you just kept going.
Because first of all, it's a game that's R something planet. That's already enough similarities that has my bells ringing in my head saying, is this Ranch Planet? Is this Ranch Planet? Rythm Planet. The character designs looked very similar. And I thought, wow, this is amazing if Ranch Planet somehow pulled in enough money that they decided to make a sequel. And it looks like we're going better than a sequel. We're going for a full-on next generation remaster of Ranch Planet.
Step aside, The Last of Us. Ranch Planet is coming.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about me, but I'm so excited for this game. I don't want to buy it. It's going to be like $30 at launch, but Ranch Planet on PSVR 2. What if they take another crack at it? It turns out to be good. What if there are Guardians of the Galaxy? I don't know. But this is a game that needs to be on the PlayStation ecosystem to complete PlayStation VR 2. We need to have a bottom of the barrel. We need to have something at the bottom of our list. So yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped to say the least.
Listen, I'm hyped for our developer interview coming up next. And you don't have to wait long because you're about 4 inches away. We are honored to be joined by JP, senior software engineer of Mighty Coconut, the makers of Walkabout Mini Golf, releasing today for PSVR 2. Thank you so much for joining us, JP. The first questions I've got to ask, what is your gamer juice, my man?
Gamer juice. I don't know about that, man. Thank you for having me. Probably my gamer juice. We're talking drink of choice, probably a H2O, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So when you're coding, when you're working on game developing, you just stick with water. You coffee, energy drink guy. What's your
weirdo? I don't drink coffee. I don't do much of the energy drinks. I'll probably have a caffeine, Coke here or there, but honestly, it's music. Just some good, lyrical or non-lyrical music in the background just gets me to zone in. So that's
wow. Gamer music. Alex,
an audio energy drink. Yeah, we have a song for him. I'll send you a link to Area B by Play PSVR. You can listen to that. There's some lyrics, but it's mostly just Adam talking.
Dude, it's good. It really is. It's the introduction of our podcast. If you listen back, you'll hear it's.
Feel free to use it in your next game. Yeah,
sounds good.
That's right. That would be so cool. You could even put it in a game you're working on if you would like.
All right, look at this,
Adam. I think I'm learning something. These productive developers and these people who really make good stuff that people enjoy. They drink a lot of water, whereas you and I were drinking these nasty gamer juice drinks. Red Bulls, coffee,
and Thanksgiving dinner drinks. Yeah, I mean, it's just pennywort, absolute just garbage. Oh my god, I'm
learning something here already. Yeah, yeah. We'll get into the questions, but first of all, huge congratulations! It's launch day. This will be out after launch day, but this is launch day when we're recording. How are you feeling, man? I'm sure it was stressful right up, and it's probably still stressful now. So thank you for the time. But how are things going so far?
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for having me. So far, so good. We're about just coming up on 2 hours since the launch, and yeah, comments so far are good. No major store setup issues, so I'm definitely riding an adrenaline high right now that with each hour that passes that there's no major issue, I'm feeling better and better. So yeah, but feeling really good so far.
Just stick with us. We'll keep you distracted so that way you don't have to worry about that stuff happening. Yeah, so really the big thing people want to know, Walkabout Mini Golf, it's on other headsets and stuff like that, but we're PSVR 2 podcast. PSVR 2 is the new VR hotness, at least from our perspective. I think it's true for everybody. What did PSVR 2 bring to Walkabout Mini Golf that people who might have played on other headsets or have just, toyed with it and stuff, what can they look forward to on the PSVR 2 version?
Yeah, no, absolutely. On the PSVR 2 version, we've got trophies, achievements for those who aren't familiar with the PlayStation side of things. So as a requirement from Sony, so we've got that in there. That's something new to look forward to. And obviously the biggest thing is you just got the power behind the PSVR 2 and the PS5 pushing it there. So we're running it at 90 frames per second, which is a jump up from what we've got it on Quest 2, which is 80 frames per second, and 72 on the Quest 1, which we're still supporting there. So you're going to see higher texture resolutions, more real-time lighting. You've got the slightly larger field of view from the 90 degrees of freedom that you see on the Quest 2 to the 110. So, a lot of quality of life that's coming from there. It's also got, we're taking advantage of that stronger haptics that you get with the PSVR 2 controllers. And again, just that faster load time that you get behind it. As far as kind of unique features outside of that, it's going to be temporary. We're going to release it on other platforms later, but we've got a recently played list and a blocked players list. Blocked players is, again, a Sony requirement because of crossplay, needing to kind of have that type of stuff there. But for the most part, in terms of the game itself, it is pretty feature parity with the other platforms, which I know PlayStation a lot of times gets some unique features here and there, but we're really trying to keep a consistency so we can have a large player base with everybody there and everyone can enjoy it. So, yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, of course, right? Crossplay is a huge thing. This game's multiplayer. Everybody loves it. And, I have friends who have a Quest. They love Walkabout Mini Golf. And now I can play with them on PSVR 2. So I'm looking forward to that big time. I will add, you're an engineer. I'm going to throw a feature request your way.
Please do.
I want to be able to pick up the golf ball and throw it at Adam's head and have his head haptics just take control and just rock his mind. Is that something we can look forward to in the future? You don't have to answer that.
I can't make any promises to anything. As you said, as an engineer, we do it well, but I definitely have an ear and I have a voice in the studio. So yeah, definitely the headset haptics have been talked about in some fun ways that we may be able to utilize that. So I wouldn't rule that out. So
okay, good to hear.
So it's funny because what I was going to ask is there any way I can go ahead and preemptively block Alex so I don't have to see him, hear him, play with him? Is that possible?
Done and done. No,
it's hard coded into the game. Yeah.
Ooh, so what I love is the fact that I've been putting quite a few hours into Walkabout already. Just the before release. Thankfully, you guys gave us a review code, which I very much appreciate. And I've to this day had never had an issue finding someone with crossplay. Every time, regardless of the time of day, it could be at lunch, it could be at 1 a.m, it could be right after work. Doesn't matter. I'm always finding people to play with, which is really awesome. And then I played with Jay Bratt. He's a VR YouTuber, and he and his girlfriend? I think girlfriend is, I don't know if it's a wife or girlfriend. Some chick, Nat Brat, they had 2 headsets. So we were all playing together and, they were in Quest and I don't know what the other one he was on, but it's really neat that you can do that. And it works so well. There was no issues whatsoever with connectivity or the ability to play with each other. It's awesome. One thing I wondered right off the bat was, what was the decision to go with mini golf rather than like a full golfing game?
Yeah, so that will stem back to our CEO, Marcus Luttel. Oh my goodness, I'm butchering our CEO's name right now. Why am I drawing a brain fart here?
Well, the CEO, that's all right. What did he say?
There we go, Lucas Martel. Sorry,
there
Lucas.
we go.
Apologies. I think it's my habit to butcher my coworker, now my CEO's name on interviews. Last time I butchered our audio creator's name. So
drop that one and do it right to make.
Yeah, no, you can tell how I didn't say it this time because I'm still not 100% positive.
It's a tradition now. You're making a tradition out of it. That's good.
This is like what's Tom Holland, this newest Spider-Man. You just know he's bad at keeping spoilers. Expect me to butcher my teammate. So but yeah, no, this is Lucas Martel, that really made the initial game with a handful of people back in 2020. Studio's grown massively since then. In just a short time over the past 2 years, 25 people. But in terms of why mini golf instead of traditional golf, Lucas would say, he's played a ton of normal golf, but he likes the whimsical kind of element that comes with mini golf and kind of the, kind of the creativity that comes behind it. So I always like it too. The fact that, we call it mini golf, and I think in Europe, they'll call it crazy golf. You get putt. Everyone down south, putt is kind of common. So, it's just a great kind of medium for a game to be able to have that extra creative freedom.
Yeah, I like it.
I think it opens the door to weird stuff too, because like I was telling that when I played putt golf, it's like really just the same thing every time I go play. It's there's fun stuff to look at, but it's just kind of the same thing. But when it's in a game, you can play mini golf, you can do wild stuff with it. So I think that's much better than traditional golf. Adam might differ in opinion, but
I like I feel like in real life I would rather play traditional golf, but you're right, the creativity you can have in mini golf, like one of my favorite things about Walkabout is actually finding the hidden balls, like the lost ball. I love that. Like it is, I have just as much fun doing that as I do playing the putt. And like yesterday with the J Brat and Nat Brat, I was like, we can't move on until we find the ball. So every hole, and dude, you guys are tricky on some of these, man. It's like, dang, you went for it. I just spent like 20 minutes looking for one, and Bogey's, what is it? Bogey's Bonanza.
Yeah.
And it was hole 12. And if anyone's listening, it's a little tan ball. It's right beside the dang, there's like some steps, and it fits perfectly in with the tan steps. Horrible. Little spoiler there for you. Took me forever to find it. I was not cold, JP. Come on, man.
Hey, that's not me. Like I said, I'm not a designer. I'm an engineer. So and I'm with you when I do the testing on PlayStation. I've got to remember where all these balls are and the fox hunts and everything. So I'm right there with you. I'm like, I'm just trying to get through a test here, and I can't even find some of these things. So yeah, you're not alone. They did a great job with that. So
you can carry that forward to the team for your next game. You can make Adam's ball hunt. For Adam's ball hunt VR.
I would play it. I would play it.
You play it every day, Adam. Anyways, moving on. Next question: are you better at real mini golf or walkabout mini golf?
So that's an interesting question. I grew up, and we would go to Ocean City, New Jersey for vacation a lot. And they've got this really nice boardwalk with like 8 to 10 mini golf courses. So I just ate that up when we grew up. I played a ton of it, and I got to say I was pretty good at it. Of course, like you guys are saying here, Adam, about playing real golf more than mini golf in real world. And Alex saying, that it's kind of a bit of the same, not everywhere, in real world mini golf, but you can get those courses that kind of don't push the envelope on kind of some creativity stuff. So, as I grew up and, it's college and stuff, it just wasn't really as accessible. So I definitely would say now I'm better at Walkabout, just having worked on it and played in it so much. But I got a chance to play some real world mini golf about 2 months ago. There was a new course in Austin here called the Dirty Birdie, a little food and drink plus mini golf. And I went into that so ready, with my family. I'm like, I'm going to be great. I did not do well.
Does that translate? Yeah.
I will say this. So, I told people that, and I play with the base strength setting we have, which I think feels really good. But you have the ability to set that to max, which is going to make that, down to the lowest, which is going to make it be the most realistic in terms of putter strength. So when I went to go play in the real world, I was under putting, which makes sense because I'm not used to having to kind of give it a little bit more oomph behind my shots. So yeah, I know there are people who have said they've been able to translate their walkabout into their real world, but just hasn't been me. So
yeah, see, I'm gonna have to give that a shot, because I did notice I didn't have to hit the ball as hard in Walkabout, but I was like, it's a game, no big deal. I didn't realize there was that strength setting I could lower, so I'm gonna play with that, give a shot. J Brat yesterday, I guess for the quest, there's like I don't know if it's an attachment or what it is, but some type of golf club that he was using with the controller. Oh, there you go. He did way better with that than he did with just the controller. So Alex and I may need to 3D print some stuff to make that possible, because sounds like it'd be cool. You lower that strength setting, then you actually have a club to go on the controller. I mean, holy crap. You might as well just play real mini golf at that point. That's baller.
I was gonna say I'm gonna do a little shout out here to one of our partners, Hello Real. They do these. You can get them online, and they've got so many different cool ones and attachments. This one's got an added weight to it, and so even more to it. You can have this extra weight. I know my dad likes that one, and you can increase that or decrease your putter strength, so you can get as close as possible to the feeling of a real putter. And yeah, I can't, just shameless plug on this. I really like theirs, mainly because the way they did this holding mechanism, where it puts the string of the grip inside and kind of tightens it. That way you have full access to the controller.
Oh, nice.
The other ones kind of have like a hook mechanism that kind of gets in your way of the analog stick and such. But yeah, no, Hello Real, huge shout out. And I agree. I play with it during our play tests, and I've been playing much better.
Wow. Do you know, is it PSVR 2 Sense controller compatible?
Not at the moment, and I'm not sure if there's plans to, but I will be voicing my strong opinion to see if
there we go. I'll reach out to him, put the pressure on. The CEO of Play PSVR 2 wants
it shall be done tomorrow.
That's all right. So little did you know, I want to put you on the hot seat. We got some trivia, some mini golf trivia here.
Good.
I want to know from you, which of the following is not a real name for mini golf?
Okay.
Midget golf, shorties, pygmy golf, or goofy golf? Which one is not a real name?
Should we put beans on the line, Adam? If he gets it right, you eat a bean. If he gets it wrong, I eat a bean. Something like that.
I think he's going to get it wrong. So
I feel like I'm on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I want to phone a friend, or I want the 50-50.
No, it's got to be you.
The punishment's coming to us either way, so don't feel bad.
Good. Yeah. All right. Well, we've got my choice is between 1 and 3. I think there's midget golf, and what was the third one again?
Pygmy golf.
Pygmy. Since I have no idea what that is, apologies if I'm disrespecting a country and their name for mini golf. I'm going to do, it's not midget golf.
Yes, it's not pygmy golf, which means Alex eats the bean. Yes.
Yes. All right, spin it, Adam. What am I eating? I don't have a spinner.
Oh, here, I got a spinner for you. So yeah, midget golf is actually a thing. And it's a juicy pear or a booger. JP, we do this all the time. We got these nasty bean boozles. And, we do stuff like this. He eats a bean. I eat a bean, and it's booger, isn't it?
That's a booger. I'm chewing on a booger right now.
We're okay until we get barf. Barf is what just wrecks you. But, okay, we're going to have more trivia coming up. But, good start. You didn't get it right, but I didn't have to eat a bean. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. I'm good. Not great, but I'm good. What is it about mini golf that makes it such a good concept in virtual reality? Do you have any input on that?
No, I mean, I think honestly the biggest thing is accessibility. VR is still really new to a lot of people out there. The Quest coming out in 2020 or around there really opened the door for a lot of people not needing to have a desktop or a PlayStation 4 at the time. So you've got a lot of people who are coming into VR who've never been into VR, but also who aren't big, gamers. So there's a lot of, learning that comes with that. And so to have a game like Walkabout Mini Golf that is a, familiar, comfortable, and fun concept, and for people, I understand that I can look at, what the game is and understand what's being asked of me. I can get in there. The controls are simple. They're definitely first-time VR user friendly with teleport movement. And there's no time limit. People can take their time with their turns, and this kind of nice social atmosphere that it's really nice timing of that game and where we are in VR right now, and especially coming out on Quest and mobile VR. But at the same time, as we were talking about earlier, the creativity that comes with mini golf it's just opens the door for so many different options of what we can do on the courses and the holes, and things that you couldn't do, like an upside down putt on the ceiling and putt on the walls, and and kind of change the gravity. So, that's really awesome there. And, I talk a lot about first time VR users and supporting them, but it's also great for veteran VR users like all of us are, right? And Adam, you're talking about being able to play with your friends on other headsets, and with everything growing, we just want everybody to be able to connect with their friends and be able to have something that everybody can connect to. But you're still, as a veteran VR player, being challenged and getting to go to these really cool worlds that we've created around these courses. So
yeah, nice. That's a big thing we talk about a lot too, is like, you're having people over, you want them to play VR because you're like a VR evangelist, right? You want people to know how awesome this stuff is, and this like slots right. It's that perfect game of like, I have people over, they don't know about VR, but they want to try it out. Walkabout's the way to go. I mean, I have friends that's, I tell them, hey, Walkabout Mini Golf is coming out on PSVR, maybe you should get one. And they're like, oh, I've played that game. Yeah, I played that in VR. That's great. And that's what got me so hyped for it when I heard you guys announced it. So yeah, it's certainly, you hit it right in there where it's like, right as the popularity of VR is reaching that critical mass, you have a game slotting in that just really nails it in terms of the approachability, but also like the depth and the replayability and stuff like that. Because I don't want to be, I don't know, I like playing Gran Turismo 7. I like playing Mario Kart. So there's different levels of intensity I need in games, and Walkabout is one of those nice cool down games after I'm maybe sweating from playing Resident Evil or something like that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well said. Yeah.
I should know this, but again, I haven't fully reviewed it. There's still playing. Does this have local multiplayer?
It does not have local multiplayer.
Okay.
But I will say, you go ahead there.
No, go ahead. You continue.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, we do have coming out later this year, what we're calling the Pocket Edition. So the mobile phone version of the game, which will be kind of a mixed VR. I don't really want to call it straight AR, but we'll have an option to putt, physically, and you can look around the world, and that will be cross-play with all the VR platforms. So, I love it because I've seen games like I think at Acorn. I'm not sure if you guys played that one, where one person's a giant tree in VR and the rest are on their phone running up to that tree, and the tree's trying to throw acorns at them. And it's a nice party game, but also the headsets can get a little bit pricey, and not every household has more than one. So to be able to do that local multiplayer, it'll still be online, but at least it'll give that kind of opening option for people in the same room to be playing together.
Yeah. So it's funny. The first hole, I didn't know what I was doing. The first hole of golf I played was the one where you putt upside down and on the side. It's very challenging. And I was like, this is so friggin' hard. Like, what is this? So thankfully, they're not all that difficult, but I'm amazed at the creativity of every course that I've played, because there's your basic course and then there's the hard mode at night. And there's so much built into it and so much creativity. Where do you and your team get the inspiration for these?
Yeah, all over the place. We've got the course Arizona Modern that's definitely based off a real place world. We've got a handful of courses like our Journey to the Center of the Earth, Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So coming from literature there for those of us who have read those stories. And then, of course, we've got some IPs, Labyrinth from Jim Henson, and we've announced our Meow Wolf partnership. We're going to be doing a course.
Dude, I love Meow Wolf. Is it the one based in Albuquerque or one of the other ones?
It's the one based in Denver. So
I haven't. Is that the grocery store one?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I apologize to our Meow Wolf partners. I've been heads down on PSVR too. We've got better people. I want to say it's Numina is the name of.
Oh, okay. I just don't know of that one. I only know, but as Meow Wolf is dope, dude. I can't wait.
Okay, so for the listeners who don't know, and I have no idea, what is Meow Wolf?
So Meow Wolf, I'm going to be a little cheating here because they're going to probably.
So yeah, I went to the one in Albuquerque. So essentially, it's this huge. I mean, it's the size of probably a Sam's Club type building, and you go in, and it's an environment where there's a mystery attached to the entire experience. You go in, you scan a QR code, and you can unravel mysteries. So it makes you really involved in the story. But they make really cool environments. Like, for example, you walk into like this house, You're learning about this family. You open up like the dryer and there's a slide. And you got to get in the dryer and slide down, and that opens up into a forest. And then there's, tree houses. And I don't want to spend our time talking about Meow Wolf, but it's a really cool experience that's just, it's pretty wild. So for that creativity to come to Walkabout, I think is going to be a top-notch course design.
No, absolutely. I was looking for this key grouping of words here, which they call it immersive art experiences. So, it's really bringing this like 3D art into this space, like Adam's saying there, in this kind of Costco level, size environment. So yeah, no, it is very out of this world experience. So yeah, like you're saying, Adam, they've got one in Arizona, they've got one in Denver, and then there's another one coming. Oh shoot. There's a third location. There's Santa Fe, Las Vegas, and Denver, and yeah, there may be one other. So check it out. Do Google. Not positive all the locations, but yeah, they're fantastic.
And if you can't check it out, you can check it out and Walkabout Mini Golf. That's going to be my game plan because I'm not near any of those places, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, it's going back to the question of inspiration. Comes from all over the place. Like I said, a couple of things there. We definitely hear from the players. We have a good number of courses in production at any given time. They take about say 6 to 9 months to get a course done. But we've got courses at different stages all along the way, right? So when it comes over to engineering and we're getting ready for the optimization pass, we've got another course that's doing lighting pass and another course that's going through set decoration. And so we've done an amazing job here at Mighty Coconut of this production pipeline and keeping the ball moving so we can achieve the pace that we've been able to achieve, especially this year, of getting a new course out every 6 to 9 weeks is really what we're shooting for. And so far, so good on that. So, yeah.
So it sounds like not only are you, like with the PSVR 2 version, you can get like all these courses, right? You either buy the standalone or the standalone with Lost Worlds DLC, or you can buy the hole-in-one edition that has all of them. But that's not it, right? You're going to be adding more courses in the future.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We actually have the Journey to the Center of the Earth that's going to be coming out here. I believe June 8th is where we've got that slotted for. But yeah, so launching with 10 DLCs and a couple of premium edition bundles that you mentioned there, Alex, that people get for a discount of, I think it's around like 23% off if you buy those bundles. Which, yeah, like you said, base game and either the 5 DLCs for the Lost City courses or the 10 DLCs that are all coming out on launch. But yeah, expect to see updates that are in line with our other platforms.
Nice.
And other systems. So yeah, that's something we're really happy to be able to keep that pacing going and keeping PlayStation moving with that.
Awesome. Well, it's time for our next trivia question. Are you ready?
Do you think he's going to get it right or wrong, Alex?
I don't know. This one's like just a number guessing game. I don't know how familiar with mini golf he is, but we'll see.
I'll let you pick. You pick. Yes, he's gonna get it right or wrong.
Okay, I think he's gonna get the answer wrong. Just playing the odds here, but that's JP, nothing against you, JP.
Man, you gotta get
it. I take no offense. Maybe I'll intentionally do it so I can avoid you from having to eat another one.
Please, yeah. What day is Miniature Golf Day acknowledged worldwide, or what is the International Miniature Golf Day? We're looking for a calendar.
We had this, and it was announced in our Slack channel.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what I was afraid of.
But wait, we've got answer. I mean,
sorry.
The answer
you have
choices.
Geez.
Okay.
Yeah. June 9th, May 10th, October 20th, September 21st. No looking at your Slack channel. I see you right now. You're covering your eyes.
I look my Slack behind my eyelid. I'm probably way off, but I started back in August of last year, so I had to been, obviously I think it can't be the June one. And so what were the end of the year ones? October
20th or September 21st. You could just say the month, October or September.
I want to say October.
No,
that is incorrect. Thank you for being incorrect. It's September 21st.
That is a horrible guess because it's like we're coming to the end of the year. It should be like a summer guess if I was using some logic. Is it what's the answer?
September 21st.
Oh, okay. Maybe
you were close. Okay. But I think you did it on purpose.
It's rotten eggs.
Yeah.
Thanks, JP. It's rotten eggs. No.
Like to keep it even here. Just
Yeah, thank
splitting it
you.
out.
Oh, I don't want. Go ahead, Alex, because I'm gonna be
Yeah. Well,
trying not to barf here.
Adam's choking down a rotten egg. What is the most important aspect of the game? Like the challenge of mini golf or the social aspect of playing?
Yeah, no, it's I guess my answer is it depends on who you talk to. You know, there's a lot of players who really love mini golf or walkabout for that social aspect, and companies will even jump in for their kind of weekly meetings and kind of have conversations in there because you don't have enemies flying at you or things you're dealing with, but you can also just kind of have, kind of like doodling, if you will, go to practice mode with 8 people and kind of putt around while you're having a conversation. So social aspect is critical. Also VR, I know, and myself included, people are dying for more and more social VR experiences, games. That isn't to say we're about, I'd say 60% players that do online play and about 40 that do single player, I believe last time I checked. So it's pretty even, but so you still want that challenge even for the social side of things. And I think we do a good job of that with our hard mode courses, and allowing people to have that nice easy mode experience to start, and they can stay there if they want, but also allowing them to have that challenge of finding the lost balls, 10 out of the 18 to unlock it, or getting under par to even get that hard mode unlocked, and then challenging themselves, each other, to get that as lowest score as they can on the hard course. And of course, finding those fox hunts, that's a challenge in itself. Or scavenger hunt, for anyone who's not familiar.
Yeah.
In the hard mode, where you can unlock a specific course putter that you can use anywhere else. So yeah, it's a balancing act, I'd say. It's my a politician answer of,
Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds like you have a good spread. So like you're handling it well. 40%, 60%, it's right kind of down the middle of what you got to cater to, but it sounds like you guys are, pulling it off. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have to admit, from playing, I'm more of a social person, I guess, but I find it much more enjoyable with people, which is why I think it's so huge that crossplay is enabled, and that every time I go and I try to match with someone, I get them. Because we have so many VR games where it relies on that multiplayer aspect, but after a month or two of launch of the game, there's no one to play with anymore. And it's such a bummer because amazing games have all had the same fate, and yours doesn't seem to be having that. That is huge. I also have this phenomenon where if nothing is on the line, I am absolute a heap of garbage. Like I remember a friend, we played 12 holes. The first 9, I mean, he destroyed me. It was mini golf. I mean, it was abysmal. Back 9, he was like, let's bet like a quarter a hole. With that little bit of motivation, I wiped him across the floor. I won every hole. And even yesterday with Jay Brat, like I need something on the line. Otherwise, I'm garbage. So I love not being embarrassed and in front of people. It gives me that motivation to do well. And the thing I wonder, again, going back, I'm focused on the creativity and the level design because it's so good. Were any of these designed off courses that you've been to, or maybe the designers have actually been to and been like, that's a good idea, I want to put that in our game?
So I think the first one, Tourist Trap, was based off a real course. I'm not 100% positive about that, but kind of that beachside course, at least some of the whole design. For the most part, though, our designers have a nice suite of, creative ways of balancing the challenging level for a given hole. And, some interesting stuff with that design of giving players a choice to go for a riskier option, right? They'll probably go for it, but having that safe layup option as well. So I'd say most of our courses, though, are not, one-to-one. We didn't take them from real world courses. There's probably overlap here and there, but yeah, I think that first one, though, is so critical because, as we build more and more courses, building that suite of how we design holes and ramp up the challenge level, but not too much, and keeping the enjoyable level there was huge. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any direct courses anybody can go there and play real life walkabout mini golf, but I do know on our Facebook page, one of the players 3D prints a lot of our course models. So like Clock
Oh,
Tower
nice.
and Mist and the windmill in Quixote Valley and things like that. So I'm really curious if they're building out their own Walkabout Mini Golf in real world, but that'd be something really cool to see.
That would be cool. You know what would also be cool? If we gave Alex another bean right here,
Oh,
because it's
God.
trivia. Let's go. Okay, this
Third
one's
time's a
simple.
charm. Maybe I'll get one right.
If he gets it right, we gotta have both you to bean. Let's do that.
Oh man.
Oh
Did-
yeah, okay,
No,
I'll do that.
okay,
I'll do
okay,
that.
okay, okay.
I'm gonna say he will. I don't know. I'm gonna say he's gonna get it wrong. Sorry, JP.
No,
I mean,
hey,
you're 0
that's
for 2,
logical. I would say it for me too. I'm 0 for 2. So
man. Okay, what is the radius of a golf ball? 21 millimeters, 69 millimeters, 32 millimeters, or 16 millimeters?
what was option B?
69 millimeters. I can't even say it without laughing.
Oh man. Give me him again. Give me him again.
Okay, 21 millimeters, 69 millimeters, 32, and 16 millimeters.
I like how they're all within a centimeter of each other. So it's
I know.
Is it this big or this big or this big?
Well, I mean, I couldn't be like, is it 6 inches? Like,
I could have sworn it was I literally I was talking with our CEO Lucas about this when I started about the collider size and making the ball radius exactly the same. So I've got a note somewhere with this, but I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm just going with option C. I'm on my SAT, ACT here.
ah.
Pick C. That's
Alex eats a bean. Yes, it's 21 millimeters. Yes.
Oh
Yes!
my goodness. Spin it, Adam. Spin it.
Oh my JP, you need to come anytime you want to come on the podcast. Do it, man. I mean, this is
Dole out
good
beans.
stuff. I can't spin it. There it goes. There it goes. And that is a coconut or spoiled milk.
oh, look at that.
Yeah, thank
Mighty
you.
coconut.
Well,
That's
I can't tell if this is coconut or rotten egg, but it's a white one. So
Oh, go for it. So while he's choking that down, how about tell us what Mighty Coconut, obviously you're bringing this to PSVR 2. Talk about Walkabout, any future projects you guys are coming up with. Just some time to plug you and your studio.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we've kind of touched on a number of these things, but just kind of recapping on it, right? So the game just launched today on PSVR 2 and all regions across the world, excluding China, but everywhere else we've got it. So whether you're in Europe, Japan, other parts of Asia, Americas, you have access to it. $14.99 base game, $24.99 you get the base game and 5 of the Lost Cities, and then the $34.99 is the base game plus the 10 DLCs. Those are the bundles that give you kind of that 22% discount. So definitely check those out. Or if you want to just buy the courses on their own, they're typically about $2.99 for our older courses, $3.99 for our newer courses. So definitely very affordable when it comes to a DLC. As we mentioned a bunch, cross-play with all other VR platforms we've got out already. So on the Quest 1 and 2, Vive headsets, Rift, PC VR, standalone VR, you're going to be able to play with them with PSVR 2. We've got Journey to the Center of the Earth DLC coming out June 8th. So be on the lookout for that. And then, Meow Wolf later this year, I believe it is. And then the Pocket Edition, the mobile edition of it as well. So you can be able to play with your friends in your room or on the go. So that's kind of the big things we've got coming over here in Mighty Coconut. And excited for all of it.
Sweet. Yeah. Listen, I want to thank you, JP, for joining us. Again, JP of Mighty Coconut, we do appreciate your time, not just being on the podcast, but working on this great game, bringing it to PSVR 2. I am certain it's going to be a wild success. So everyone check out Walkabout Mini Golf on the PlayStation Store and all of the assortments of DLC. Thanks again, JP.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, man. Welcome back to Play PSVR 2, the podcast, segment 3. Thank you so much, JP, for letting us interview you.
Dude,
and ask
what a
you
great
questions.
guy. What a
Yeah.
great studio.
Yeah, super fun chat with you. And also, listeners, viewers, we're here to accept your apologies. This is a forgiveness special we're doing for you. We forgot about May Days. Did we forget about May Days? We forgot about May Days because May was a month that was very busy because
We
PSVR
effed
2,
up.
we effed up. We effed up. We accept your apologies. Or no, you accept our apologies. We accept your forgiveness that we forgot May Days. So make it up to you. We're going to do you one better. We're going to do June days. That's right. PSVR was May Days. Add one more to that month. We're going to do June days. For those who don't know, every day in June, we're going to be streaming a game. It's going to be a different game. This is where you get down and dirty. You can find out what all these weirdo games look like, sound like, act like, feel like. Talk to me and Adam and let us know how you feel about seeing our bodies on YouTube while we play games in VR. I'm looking forward to the compliments, counting them down. I'm going to get a platinum trophy in the body competition. Adam, what game? I don't think Adam even has 30 games for PSVR 2 to play. So thankfully, I'm going to be picking up a lot of that weight here.
See, that's the thing. Yeah, or do we even have that many games? I mean, I guess if you consider all the ports and stuff, yeah. Is everything on the table? Also, do we go back and play some PSVR games if we need to? Or is it strictly PSVR 2? What are the rules?
I think the only rule is that there are no rules, Adam.
Oh.
What a cop
So
out.
I don't have to wear a shirt?
Actually, that's the actual only rule is that Adam can't wear a shirt when he's streaming.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I know.
I rarely play. Dead serious. I played Walkabout VR 2 days ago with no shirt.
We didn't need to know. Nobody has to know. How was it?
No one did know until just now. Welcome to my universe. So I think it will be interesting if we have enough games. 30 games is a lot, dude. But I mean, I haven't finished Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. I need to get up in there. We got Walkabout, Gran Turismo, Resident Evil 8. You need to play. You're going to have Red Matter. We're going to have Humanity. Cactus Cowboy is free. Poker Stars is free. Sea Smash is going to be maybe June 22nd, maybe the best day of my life. We can play Res because it's an upgrade. Are upgrades fair? What do you think?
Of course they're fair. They're considered official PSVR 2 canon in my eyes. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I just routed off 10 games right off the bat, no hesitation. There's how many days in June? Not 31. There's less, 28 maybe?
There's 28 days in June. There's 30 days in June, Adam.
Okay, F me. I don't know, man. I haven't been in 5th grade in like a long time.
Yeah, but it's been 30. June every year since.
So we do owe the viewers one more game by the end of it, but we'll make it up to you.
Yeah, we'll make it up to you, and you'll enjoy it for sure. Maybe June 30th is the launch of Rythm Planet. That would be great. I just love the suspense I'm living in. And I did research. Poker Stars VR is free, and it is out on the U.S. store. Somehow I got sent to the Great Britain store where it's not out yet for some reason.
Ooh.
Yes, so we could be playing Poker Stars VR tonight, Adam. Who knows?
Chip Chayo, we need to have chips and crumpets, or is it coffee and crumpets? Something in crumpets, right?
I'll just go with chips and crumpets, but that's not what it is.
I don't think that's right. I don't think chips and there's something in crumpets. Whatever it is. Yeah, so look forward to June days. Now, because things can't be easy with Play PSVR 2, the podcast, we are going to be streaming on our Play PSVR Golden Streams channel. So that will not be on Gaming is in Session. We have a separate YouTube account for our streaming, and that's where that will be. We will post and give you updates when it gets closer on what time of the days we're going to do. I'm looking forward to it, Alex, because if you are too scared, which I think you are, to play Resident Evil 8 gives me a chance to go back in. It felt so good. I want to feel up Resident Evil 8 again.
See, that is a nice thing because you have a reason to revisit games, but the downside is you're going to steal the games that I want to play. You have like 3 games that you can play, and you're going to burn through.
We've already talked about all the games that we have reviewed. I have 50% of them. You have 50%. I don't want to hear this crap. I think we'll be good. I think it'll be fun. Exactly. You're right. I like this because it's a game like Drums Rock, where, let's be honest, you probably aren't gonna just go back and play it. But now you have to, because you have to fill out these 30 days. And it's not that it's a bad game. It's just we have other games to review and you have life. But this gives you that reason to go back and play it. And it feels good, right? So it's going to be like, I'm not going to have played Zenith again until June days. Probably not going to play Secret of My Shadow until June days. Not because they're necessarily bad games. There's just too much on the docket to just play them one random day. So you're right. I'm looking forward to May Days was always one of your favorites. So what game would you start off with? I'll let you take precedence on the games you want to play.
I mean, I want to play Resident Evil 8. That'd be great. That's not like the best streaming game. Like I don't know. I feel like there's not much interaction going on there, but I'd love to play it. The thing about playing a game when you're streaming is it's not a game I can't focus on and enjoy a game that might have like extra stuff happening in it. So if I really want to enjoy Resident Evil 8, I should probably get a good ways into it first before I stream it. But that's certainly one. Gran Turismo 7 is always a super fun one. I like to play the janky games and get excited about those in streaming. So like I said, I'm hoping Ranch Planet comes out. We'll be streaming C Smash. We'll do some 1v1.
Ooh, I'm going to smash that. I can't wait. We also have a interview lined up with the developers there, Wolf and Wood. So I'm very excited to talk to them about C Smash. That's a little later in June 12th, I believe. So that is coming to you. I like these developer interviews, dude. JP's dope. The one we did with 17-bit, the guys from Tentacular. Not only does it personify the games that we play, but also like everyone's just, they're cool, right? Like their creativity is on display and you get to just kind of learn more about them, what made them make that specific game, make these decisions, understand the compromises. I think it's real dope. I hope the listeners enjoy the interviews as well.
But the thing about the interviews is that although it humanizes the developers, Adam does not pull any punches. Adam doesn't care how they feel. Adam's going to review the game. He's going to tear it apart. Actually, I think if we interview a developer, Adam tries to be extra mean in the review. But we'll see if that's true. I don't know how Adam's going to review Walkabout Mini Golf, but that's what we got coming up here next, Adam. So are you ready? Are you ready to present your case?
I don't know what you were talking about there, about me being extra mean, but you know what? It is time. Let's do it. Court is in session, and Walkabout Mini Golf take the stand. Now, if you have not gone and listened to the entire interview we did with Mighty Coconut, the creator of Walkabout Mini Golf, go back and listen real good. Now, don't get me wrong. I love talking to those guys, and they do have a fan favorite on their hand, but it's my courtroom and my judgment rules. Is Walkabout Mini Golf for the PSVR 2 worth the hype and worth the dollar bills? It's time to dive in. I first charge you, Walkabout Mini Golf, with nailing jelly to the wall. So on first glance, I admit I was underwhelmed. After 30 minutes, I even text Alex and I was like, well, it's mini golf. Oh, Adam, you poor wretched fool. Open your eyes. Walkabout Mini Golf is actually way more than just mini golf. Each hole contains a hidden ball that you can find and add to your collection. I love finding these balls. It is actually one of my very favorite parts of the game. After completing a course, a quote-unquote hard mode kind of opens for that course where you go. Obviously, the holes are more difficult, but then there are riddles that you can solve, and if you complete those for that course, you unlock a new putter. There's a driving range, there's practice areas, and I found out there's people out up in here joining up on different holes and just playing hide and seek. They're not golfing. Just one person closes their eyes, the others run out, they hide somewhere in the course, and you got to go find them. That is just, that's wild. There is so much more to this game than just mini golf that it's borderline impossible to do and finish it all. And because of that, on the count of nailing jelly to the wall, I find you guilty. You can't even begin to combat that, Alex. You gotta agree.
I don't know what you mean by nailing jelly to a wall, but
it's impossible. So like it's impossible to do everything. Like yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Okay, I get you. No, I mean I played a little bit too. And yeah, the mini golf, I thought it was very fun mini golf, but as you mentioned, it almost seems like the social aspect is the real game here, where you join. Mini golf is the reason to get together, but then you have fun doing other stuff, finding the hidden golf balls, solving the riddles, flying around. For those who don't know, you can fly in this game. You hold down up, your character takes off, you can fly around the map, and these environments are enjoyable to be in, look around, do stuff in. I never thought about playing hide and seek. I bet it's really fun. And that's the kind of stuff that like really sets a game apart and gets a community around it. That's what happened to Pavlov before it came to PSVR 2. That's why that Terrorist in Trader Town or whatever, that was just a game people were playing without it being an official mode, so they made it an official mode. So maybe Walkabout would do that. I don't know. It's just cool. So yeah, I don't have anything to combat that. There's a lot to do here. Did you do the driving range?
I sure did. It's fun. It's
like Top Golf, right?
Huh?
It's like Top Golf, right? You have targets and stuff you got to hit.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah. I mean, it's just straight up, it's good stuff. And I love that I started with something so positive because we're going to take a turn. And it starts with count number 2. The next charge is playing a single hold harmonica. Now, I understand with this grievance that not everyone plays the way I do, and I should respect that, but I don't. Not in my courtroom. My courtroom, my rules. So you know all the amazing things we just talked about Walkabout Mini Golf, they're true. It's incredibly fun, really good content, but there's one caveat. If you are playing with people. Now, I've played the single player. It's rough. The music sounds like it came from freemusicarchive.com. There is little to absolutely no stimulation. And after 5 holes, you want to search your golf bag for a driver and not the golf club. I appreciate a game that provides a fun, casual space for cross-play and social interactions in virtual reality. However, this game is so one note that I would argue it solely relies on the social aspect to truly succeed. Now, you need to have a stimulating single-player campaign too. You can't just rely on the multiplayer. And maybe some of you like playing mini golf alone, but I'm going to say most of you and those that I talk to who have played single player don't. And if you don't have a readily available group of friends to play with, I would be concerned. Also, there is no local multiplayer. How? What a horrendous oversight. This was going to be my showcase PSVR 2 game when friends came over, when I was with family. It's a perfect game. And there's no local multiplayer? How hard is that to do? That is shameful and absolutely mind-boggling. Walkabout Mini Golf is worriedly 2-1 note. And because of this, on the count of playing a single hold harmonica, I find you guilty.
Wasn't single hold harmonica your nickname in high school, Adam? No, sorry. It sounds like a euphemism for something, but I can't imagine what.
No, I'm trying to think of how would something have only one note to play, and so.
But you went to a single.
I can't think of any other thing.
That is vintage Adam right there. Multiplayer is very important at this. I'm sure that they did story mode or something, that'd be great. But VR developers, indie developers, they're working with limited capacity. I will say it's very good that the multiplayer is crossplay, right? One of the few crossplay games you have. So there's already a huge amount of people playing on other consoles, other headsets. And they, as he mentioned in the interview, they do have a local multiplayer version, but it requires you using a phone. It's not VR for those players.
No one wants to do that, man.
I want to do it. I could enjoy that with my kids. They could play in VR. I could play on the phone, and that might even the playing field, right? They might not. I might not stomp them like I stomped you last time we played.
It's awful. It's horrible. Why would you do that to your kids? Okay. Do you have anything else? Like, is that the best? Any rebuttal or?
No, so here's the thing about VR games. We see a lot of this. Some of the most successful games are multiplayer only, like Pavlov. Although for some reason you enjoy fighting bots, Pavlov is a game that's multiplayer only. It's only fun in multiplayer. After the Fall is only fun in multiplayer for my money. So I don't think this is anything bad about the game per se, but I do think it's certainly worth noting that really this game shines from the multiplayer aspect. Yeah.
So I got to move on to the other count here, the third count. I come to give me a top hat and call me Mr. Peanut. So Walkabout is a mix of emotions and feelings, similar to a can of mixed nuts. You love some of them, you hate some of them. So on one hand, the social aspect of the game arguably is better than any VR game ever. The putting feels incredibly good with many settings customized to make it as realistic as a video game can. There are some methods to rig your controllers to make it feel like a golf club, and those will certainly come to PSVR 2. The creativity of the levels are very good, and the cost of the game to play ratio is off the charts. However, the reliance on multiplayer hurts. The PSVR 2, there's more haptics, there's a better frame rate, but let's be honest, it's not really better than the Quest or the other headsets. It doesn't use a tech. It's not a next-gen game. I know many people who are not buying it on the PSVR 2 because they already have it on the Quest. That really tells you all you need to know, that there's no reason to buy it again. Many of the levels seem very gimmicky, but not just normal level design gimmicky, rather like let's add some borderline unfair obstacles just to make it hard gimmicky. There's a lot of love with Walkabout Mini Golf, but certainly there's some things not to. So on the count of give me a top hat and call me Mr. Peanut, I find you guilty.
I don't understand why you're upset about clever gimmicks in a mini golf game when mini golf by its very nature is a gimmick.
The gimmicks in the game aren't mini golf gimmicks. They're seemingly like, oh, we run out of ideas. We have to make something difficult. Let's just add this thing. And
what's an example?
It's not very creative. It is difficult. I'll give them that. It just, I don't know. Sometimes some of the holes lack creativity, and that's how I felt. I'm sure you'll feel it once you play a bit more, get into some of the hard mode, and maybe you won't. I mean, that's how I feel.
Think about the quintessential mini golf gimmick is the windmill that's turning, and you got to hit the golf ball while the windmill's not blocking the hole. That is the epitome of mini golf, and I can't think of something more gimmicky than that. That's an artificial difficulty thrown in there. How could something be worse than that, yet somehow make you dislike this more than mini golf itself?
Because they add, for example, pieces of the ground that are broken up. So if you don't hit it exactly right, it falls through the crack and you lose the ball. Or there are the upside down levels. Some of those, like you have to putt upside down. Like it just like why? Like it's unnecessary. It's difficult. Like there's no real reason. There's a lot of holes where you have to hit off a ramp and then bounce it off a rock to get to where you really need to go. And there's quite a few levels like that. It's extremely difficult. It's not that creative. I mean, the level design is essentially, I could do that when I've run out of ideas of how to make something creative. It's a different feeling in my mind, and it's not a good one. So some of the holes I hate, and I'm just going to let at some point it mercy rolls you for that hole, and I just let it do it because I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not having fun unless, of course, I'm with people, and then I'm making fun of them while I'm not golfing. So it's not a perfect game, is I think my thought. And that brings me to my final verdict. And it is as follows: Walkabout Mini Golf. Are you a worthy PSVR 2 title to spend your time, attention, and your money on? I find you hung. It is hung. Listen, order in the court. Order in the court, okay? I know everyone is going to be ticked. I give the designation of hung with the stipulation of this. First, if you do not have the game, you should buy it. At least the base game, it's $15. And you will get so much enjoyment and so much time out of that $15 and an experience that you must try. So it is a must buy if you do not have it already on some other headset. A lot of people obviously have multiple headsets. I would say the majority of us do. Not myself, but many do. In that case, they have not done enough for me to suggest purchasing it a second time on the PSVR 2 because there's no reason. They didn't implement any of the technology other than very minor things. It's essentially a Quest game they ported to the PSVR 2. That makes me somewhat upset, but it's a good game, and I just can't recommend you buying it again, but you definitely need to have it and need access to this game on some headset. That is where I stand. It is a hung jury.
I was going to argue with you about it. I think that's a fair assessment with the caveat that, yeah, it's now on PSVR 2. If you don't have it, you should get it. But if you have another headset, there's no reason to double dip and get it on PSVR 2, unless you just want that ease of access. But then you have to pay for all the new levels and stuff like that. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I didn't play as much as you. It's not my review. I feel like I would have liked it, but you have a really good point on the whole single player aspect lacking. Like, I mean, it's trite and hackneyed, but like some kind of a story mode or character progression or something, just something to get you going in single player mode might have been nice. I didn't see that in the bit that I played, and it sounds like you didn't encounter that either.
Or even like a competition mode or something, or a local. I'm not sure if you can see other people's scores.
Well, like a leaderboard, yeah, like a best, have a season or a tournament, like an offline tournament where you just play through the course. It keeps track and see who gets the best. That best way, score.
Bob Washington can take us to the woodshed, but we can try. Like we can try. We're not gonna beat them, but like exactly. If I know what your score is, it's just like Tetris, right? Once you beat me, I was like, I have to beat this son of a gun. And now I was like, I knew Will had the all-time record. I was like, Will, no more, sir. And I worked on it. Like that made me play Tetris more. Just little things like that could make the single player more useful. And there's just not there. And like I stand by it. I think if you don't have access to it, you really do need to play it. It's really fun. Great social game. But to me, again, I harp back on, I bought this $600 headset, and what did I get for it? A Quest game, essentially. The graphics aren't impressive. The technology isn't implemented. They're playing it on the phone. Like I'm playing a phone game on my $600 headset. It's just not what I want to spend my time on. I want to play the Undead Citadels, and I want to play the Resident Evil 8s and the Saints and Sinners. And maybe this is a good side game, but I also can't complain too much. I mean, $15 is a phenomenal price. And something also to note, if I have all the DLC and you don't, if you join me, we can still play the whole. You don't have to have the DLC to play the whole necessarily. You just need to be with someone who's already purchased it. That is a really nice thing the developers did that they didn't need to do, that I think is really nice. That's real cool. And so it has its value. I stand by it. Sure, some people weren't thrilled, but again, it's my court, baby. Alex, we got to put this on the all-time rankings.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, it's a top 5 game. Okay, it's just where in the top 5 does it belong? So it's better than Pavlov. Wait. It's better than Runner. I'm sorry. I think it's better than Moss Book 2. I didn't review it, but I know Moss Book 2 is about the same. Like, would you've played Walkabout? I'm gonna put it over Moss Book 2, but would you?
I'll argue. I'm not going to disagree with your decision. I'll argue and defend Moss Book 2.
No, but I want to know, what would you do?
Oh, man, that's a tough call because I really haven't put the time into this to really evaluate it properly. I could understand why somebody would put this above Moss Book 2 in the sense that, yeah, this is like one of the must-have games for multiplayer, at least, right? Like, as you mentioned, the social aspect is so spot on, and VR is one of those things where the social aspect is like this is a facsimile of VR chat, right? I could hop into a game and there's going to be 8 people, potentially that I could just be hanging out with, right? And we're in this cool environment. We can fly around this environment and just see what this room looks like. You could even play one of these like trader games or something somehow. I'm sure people could figure out how it works. People are playing hide and seek. So it's one of those games where the environments are good, the controls are good, the game is stable, nothing's broken. And if all else fails, you can just play a really good game of mini golf. So there's a lot to love there. Moss Book 2 was conventional video gaming, kind of turned on its head a bit, shown the quality of conventional video games in VR, doing stuff in VR that it can't do conventionally. I really appreciated that. That was something novel, whereas this game is really fun. It's social, but like I don't know that I'd get a whole lot more out of it than I would say playing Mario Golf on the Switch with a chat room next to me or something like that. So that's kind of why I'm torn between the two. But this is your game. This is your review. You get to place it on the list, and I have to eat crow.
Yeah, to me, really, it's between Pavlov and Walkabout. And that is difficult because obviously both of them rely very heavily on multiplayer, but in different reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Pavlov would be if you consider and you weight the priority of gameplay more important than the social aspect, then Pavlov is for you. But if you'd rather do a social experience, then Walkabout is better. And for me personally, gosh, it's tough.
I think the moment-to-moment gameplay of Pavlov can be more fun. I think Pavlov has higher highs, but it also has lower lows in terms of it could be really frustrating. I do think Pavlov is something where you can probably play with randos, like random people, and have a good time consistently, whereas with Walkabout Mini Golf, you're kind of dependent on how enjoyable the people in the game are to be around, right?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit there too. So man, they both have pluses and minuses. It's like basically we're deciding what is the be all end all multiplayer game of PSVR 2 if you discount Gran Turismo 7 a little bit there.
Yeah. I think Pavlov takes more effort to play, right? Like I know Walkabout Mini Golf, I could have had a long day and I could just walk in and play it, no big deal. But I think the technology implementation is what wins it for Pavlov. So I'm going to put Walkabout Mini Golf, what will be our number 5 game on our list. And I feel like I think that's pretty fair. I think that's pretty good. Alex, not only do we have to list these games, but sometimes when they're on sales, we have to make hard decisions. What should you spend your money on if you haven't already bought these games? And there are sales to be had. You know what we do. Alex tells me the sale. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't buy it. Let's go.
All right, so PS Prices is in the toilet when it comes to these deals, so I got to go to the PlayStation Store to find these things out. Just a caveat, these are North American sales, so sorry for our international listeners, but you still get Adam's rapid-fire opinions on some of these games. So I'm browsing through the PlayStation Store so I can make sure I scoop up all these other games that might be on sale with free upgrades and stuff like that. First one on the list is Jurassic World Aftermath Collection, coming in at $23.99.
People like this, but I'm not a Jeff Goldblum lover. I'm not playing it.
I heard I read one review about it, and they were like, man, you've played the entire game in the first 10 minutes, and it really is just that over and over again. And then out of nowhere, people started posting on Reddit, like, hey, this game's actually really fun, and I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I got it. It's such a great experience. I saw like 2 or 3 posts kind of rapid fire hit at the same time. Made me question, is this like a PR push by the developers? So I'm torn. But the footage, again, this is a Quest port, I believe. The footage isn't compelling. Like, is it supposed to be scary? Is it an adventure game? There are better adventure games to play. There are better scary games to play. So, yeah.
I don't want to find out. Next.
I don't want to find out. How about Garden of the Sea for $19.99?
I mean, you love this. I feel like what's the normal price? Do you know?
$24.99.
That's not that much of a discount. 50% off, or I'm not even considering it.
You don't care about the price. You just care about how much of a deal you're getting. And then 50% off. 50% off will get you down to $12.50, and then you'll be upset that it's not $10. That's the Adam logic right there. That is.
I don't care. Move on.
Les Mills Body Combat. So this is Les Mills Body Combat for $23.99. This is that exercise game that actually looks. I'm pretty intrigued with it. I liked Box VR. This looks like a replication of Box VR.
I mean, the thing is, it would be great if the PSVR 2 weren't so friggin' uncomfortable and felt like someone had a medieval torture device on your head. I don't want to move at all. My nose will get hurt. I'm not playing it. And I'm sorry, developers. You could thank PlayStation. Cuck Cerny, you butthole. Make a headset that doesn't freaking suck and doesn't hurt. Next.
You heard it. You heard it from the man. Pistol Whip for $23.99.
Everyone loves it. At some point, I need to buy this. What percent off is it?
As if it matters. 20% off.
Gosh. It does, because I know it's never going to be less than 50% off. So if it's ever 50%, I have to buy it then. 20% is too low. You know they're going to come out with a 40% off at some point.
It was like $20 when I bought it on sale for PSVR 1, and it was a free upgrade. So you missed the boat a little bit there. They got to recoup
exactly.
this.
I'm waiting for that deal again.
Maybe it'll never come. Maybe it will come. Maybe it'll be right. After the Fall Deluxe Edition, I think this includes everything you need for the free upgrade. This is $19.49. Adam, I know you don't care about the price of the number. You just want the percent off. 50% off is what it is.
Listen, that's a real good percent off. I just feel like with Pavlov and these Sierra Crossfire coming up and Firewall Ultra coming up, I just don't see when you would play after the fall. I think it's still a pass for me.
All right, and that's it for the sales. I thought there was a lot more. I mean, I don't get this. Budget Cuts is on sale for PSVR 1, but the sequel's about to come out. So it's on sale for $17.99. So I would just wait for the sequel. Wait for the sequel, and you're good to go.
Yeah, they're just trying to get whatever the can. Let me guess, that's 20% off too.
40% off actually.
My mom always told me it's not a deal if you can't afford it. So I don't know how that ropes into this conversation, but I felt like that's a piece of advice I should tell you, the listeners. Don't buy it just because it's on sale. Make sure it's a good game. Make sure it's a worthy investment and that you have the money to do it. Or play PokerStars VR. It's free. You can play strip poker. You won't lose anything but your shorts.
Or your dignity. Either. That's what we could do for Maydays. PokerStars VR, we both play, somehow stream together, and we play strip poker, PokerStars VR, on the June Days stream. We'll figure that out.
It's funny because I lose one hand and I'm going to be naked because I only wear undies when I should only wear socks. That would be real interesting.
I'll just have the camera from the waist up, and I'll start with just a wife beater on. Just a white tank top, and that's it.
Yes, I love it. Listen, we are about 4 inches to the butthole of this episode, but we want to thank you for listening to Play PSVR 2, the podcast. Catch us on YouTube. It's called Gaming is in Session, the channel. Twitter, we're Gaming Court. And playpsvr.com. Check us out. Always email us if you have concerns, questions, or if you want a piece of this. Thank you for tuning in to Play PSVR 2, the podcast, where virtual reality is our reality.